Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. For my final dev server test drive video, I'm going to be taking a look at a few of the higher up Italian tanks. Starting off with one that isn't exactly a top tier, but is something rather interesting. This is the OTO R3 106 SR. It's effectively a armoured car fitted with two 106mm recoilless rifles, which do pack a punch, but unfortunately you can only fire them 5 times, which does limit their use quite a bit. Now, on the other hand, this is a rather fast vehicle. This can reach a speed of up to 72 miles an hour, which is effectively the same speed as vehicles on a motorway, which definitely isn't too bad for something in War Thunder, where most of the maps aren't that big. That means you can cover the map in effectively probably a minute, 2 minutes, and you can get straight to the other side, which does mean that if you can get through unattacked, you can probably get in some rather interesting sniping positions. Now, this gun has 2 round options, the round I'm using at the moment, as well as a HESH round. I've only driven it twice, so I don't really have any ideas of what rounds to use, and I haven't actually done any games in it, so if there's another dev server, I'll definitely take a more detailed look at this vehicle, and, you know, if there's, when the update is released live, I will also give this another look, and see if I can do my own video on it, if you guys would want that. But anyway, I'm driving along, trying to take out small vehicles. Here is another thing to shoot, a Centurion. Let's try and take it out. There we go, fairly effective. Hit the turret, looks to have knocked out majority of the crew, which has given me the kill, thankfully. The good thing with these rounds is they don't have the best penetration, but if they do explode within the tank, it's highly likely that it's going to knock everything out. That does sometimes happen. I think it's sort of luck in a way. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I am tempted to, in the next dev server, try using the HESH shell, because I feel like that might be a tad more successful. Now, we're just going to try and take out this Conqueror. We've got our final shot, so let's fire that. And there we go, Conqueror down. So there is the final kill. We're currently out of rounds. Now, this thing, it's very quick, and it's very thin, and it turns rather quick. And I am generally surprised at how it does not tip over. I'm incredibly surprised, to be honest. Which is rather interesting. It must have some godlike suspension. And the thing is, with this in-game, I'm really wondering if we're going to get that Ferrari Lamborghini armoured car thing. I believe it was called the Lizard, because that could mount some recoilless rifles or ATGMs. So that would be a very nice thing to see. And that was incredibly quick. That went like twice as fast as this thing. So that would be pretty cool to see. But let me know what you think of this vehicle as we jump onto the next vehicle, one of which that I think a lot of people are wanting to see. The Automatic. This thing is an absolute beast. I have already made a short kill montage on this, so do go give that a look. As you can see, I try firing an aircraft. It doesn't seem to be the most useful as an SPAA. I think, at least on this current dev server, guys should have set it up in a way that makes it seem like it's meant to be used as an anti-tank weapon. In the test drive, it would only let me take a few APFSDS shells, although in actual games, you can take quite a few more. You can take 90 of these on this, like, extremely fast SPAA reload, which, you know, it's rather fun. If you see my montage, you'll see there was a clip where I basically killed an M1 Abrams frontally with 2 shots. That's how good this thing is. If it stays as it is now on the live server, and a lot of people going it, top tier tank is not going to be fun for anyone who isn't playing Italian. This thing is an absolute beast. Of course, there isn't much armor, but it, by all means, depending on what it's shot from and where it's shot from, it can take a few hits. And in terms of mobility, pretty damn good. Turret rotation, well, it's an SPAA, so obviously it's going to be insane turret rotation, which it does have, as well as the fact that the gun traverse up and down is actually rather nice as well. Well, as you'll see, I am now using the high explosive shells, which it seems to want me to use. Obviously, in-game, you don't want to be using these against MBTs. What you want to be using is the APFSDS shells. And talking about rating, this thing is going to be sitting at 9.0. At least currently on this dev server version, it sits at 9.0. Of course, dev servers, everything's subject to change. But at the moment, it looks like we'll be getting 9.0 rating. So down tiers, super fun. Up tiers, we'll still be able to kill stuff, which is definitely interesting. But that is the Automatic. Very interesting vehicle. Is it going to be overpowered? Well, if it stays like this, hell yes. It's going to be a very overpowered vehicle. It's effectively a lightly armoured MBT with an basically instant reload. So, you know, rather interesting there. But anyway, next up, what have we got for you guys? Well, I have got something rather interesting. It is the basically main MBT currently for the Italian tech tree, this being the OF40, and the variant we have in game is the Mark IIA, which is a very nice looking variant. Look, the other variant is, I believe, just the OF40. It looks basically identical apart from a few small changes, such as what looks to be a sensor pack on top of the gun mantlet. But anyway, let's get moving. I believe this has a similar chassis to the automatic. I don't think it's the exact same, but it is very similar. And as you saw there, one shot instantly killed that. We're going to mostly be using APFSDS. Let's try and take out this Russian tank. Fired a bit late there and it did miss. Let's try and just get this right. On the move, you need to aim with quite a bit of lead. Get a reload. The reload's not too bad, I don't think. And fire. And there we go. Hit there, went through into the chassis and knocked out the crew. And here is another Russian tank. Let's try and fire a shot into him. And there we go. That is another kill. This thing, fairly fast. The armor, I haven't really checked out much. I've not actually played this in game. I just thought, hey, we'll do a quick test drive. And, you know, I've recorded it, and it's surprisingly good. There we go. That's a hull break kill. Hell yeah. But, you know, this thing, it looks pretty damn fun. In terms of Italian tanks, this is going to, at least for the time being, be your top MBT. At least until the Ariete comes along, or something more. I presume it will just be the Ariete, though, possibly at 10.0, maybe at like 10.3, 10.7, if they decide to move the ratings up, which, you know, if they're going to add stuff like the M1A1 Abrams or the Leclerc, then they're definitely going to move it up. So that's where the Ariete's likely going to sit, which is rather interesting. I believe this currently sits at a rating of 8.7, so the fact that you're going from an 8.7 rating all the way up to like a 10.3, 10.7, that's going to be a big change. But I'm sure guys, you know, have a way for players to get used to it fairly effectively. Because one thing we don't want is a load of new players, or not new players, but fairly unexperienced players going from low MBTs and in the matter of 2 tanks being at top tier. But anyway, that's pretty much all the kills. One more to go. We've got this T-64A. Let's do this. And there we go, straight through the frontal armor. Very nice APFSDS shot there. Well, now we look to the OF40 Mark IIA, let's jump over and look at the final tank of this video, which is the Centauro. This is a big armoured car, very large, sitting at 8.7 rating on the dev server currently. Might change, of course, before the update, as with everything on the dev server. Starting off with an APDS round, which, you know, it's got decent pen. This does also have Heat FS, as well as APFSDS and HESH, although I wouldn't personally be using HESH at top tier. So this is effectively, I would relate this to the actual, to the OF40 that we just saw, but faster. And especially on roads, this is going to be damn fast. Obviously, we've seen a dev blog on this vehicle. Guys mentioned some of the sort of good points of the vehicle there. If you want more information on it, just go check out the dev blog. There's a history section and all that stuff, so do go check that out. I would at least hope that guys should have more expertise on the vehicle than I do, because frankly, I don't really know a huge amount about it, or about Italian ground forces as a whole. But one thing I do know is that this thing is going to be rather fun. There is not much armor, but it is a very big vehicle, so as long as hull break isn't too catastrophic on it, it should be okay, because it's a very large vehicle with the crew spread out. So ideally, say the enemy are using APFSDS, as long as that doesn't hull break you, it should go through without damaging too much, which would be very ideal. And also, you know, the big size does though mean you can't really hide. Hiding would be preferable, but you can't really do that. But yeah, so we're getting to the end of the video now. So they were a few Italian tanks that you may be interested in, mostly the top stuff. Personally, the OF40 is something I'm really hyped for. The automatic's just going to be a bit overpowered if it stays at its current state, which I'm half hoping it does, I'm half hoping it doesn't. Although, you know, it can be fought fairly effectively. If you can get the first shot out, it's highly likely you will be able to kill it. If it gets the first shot out, you don't stand a chance because it can just spam shots into you. But anyway, yeah, so some top tier Italian vehicles right there, or at least their current top tier. Do consider smashing the like button if you enjoyed the video. Possibly even subscribe to the channel. I am trying to reach 3,000 subs before the end of this year, and I am getting fairly close, so do feel free to smash that subscribe button if you have not already. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.